So we know that Discovery bought Warner Brothers, and when they did, Walter Hamada, who was kind of the lead of DC, Warner Brothers, and all that, was more or less let go, right? So this is coming to us. Let me see if I can pull this article up here, possibly. Here we go. This is coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter. And so, yeah, it looks like that Walter Hamada has signed this new multi-year deal with Paramount to oversee their horror films, which is very interesting, right? We know, I mean, obviously he has some history with horror, but I want to read a little bit of this article. Walter Hamada has found a new studio home, one that will have him move away from superheroes and return to his horror roots. The former DC Films president has inked an exclusive producing pact with Paramount, the studio announced Tuesday. The move comes just weeks after he departed his post at Warner Bros., where he oversaw DC for 4 years. Prior to that, he worked on the New Line horror properties such as The Conjuring. And that's really what got him famous and popular and got him the job over at DC. And, he didn't have a lot of time over there at DC, and it's like nominating a good president with a bad situation. And that's exactly what it was. He was president. He got the job, but he inherited a really bad situation, right? Things weren't going well at DC. Under Walter Hamada, though, there was a lot of wins, right? You had Shazam. Shazam's a good win. What's it called? Wonder Woman. You had
Wonder Woman 2, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So you have a few good films in there. Black Adam, even though it didn't come out while he was still president, was definitely produced and made under his watch as well. For at least 4 years. Aquaman is another one. Joker.
Jeez, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so there's a ton. I mean, he did have lots of success. He obviously had lots of success in the horror genre before, like I was saying before. So this makes sense that he comes back to horror. The new deal, which is effective January 1st, so this hasn't gone to effect yet. Also, we talked about on the show yesterday about Smile, which is now available on Paramount Plus. I will be checking that out tonight, and we will be talking about it on the show hopefully tomorrow. Is part of this part of the studio, right? So he inherits this. He inherits a couple things that are doing really well right now for them. This is cool. I'm glad to see him getting another job as a head of something. Clearly, he can do his job fairly well, and he's able to have successes. Again, we mentioned the Joker, Aquaman, lots of things that he had, and not only that, Joker, won Academy Awards too. So these movies are not only financially successful, but they're critically and audience well received as well. So this is good to hear. I'm glad for Walter Hamada. I'm excited to see what their horror does going forward. It was kind of Walter Hamada that fathered in that whole Conjuring MCU or Conjuring CU or whatever.
Conjuring.
Right. Yeah. So I can see lots of more stuff like that going on. But yeah, Lucas, you're hearing this. Give us your thoughts. What are your thoughts about Walter Hamada signing this new deal?
Well, first of all, I just kind of want to clarify. So when they say, he signed this new deal, is this, because I remember it was a couple years ago now, but it was Paramount, right, that was talking about doing their monster universe, right, with Dracula and like Frankenstein.
That failed.
Right.
They shit canned all that.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is that, is it possible that they're bringing in Walter Hamada, who has now experience, obviously, with couple cinematic universes? Are they trying to maybe revamp that in some way or other?
I mean, it may be too early to try to mess with that. I don't know. I mean, the only successful thing you had out of that, to me, was the Invisible Man. So,
well, and they got what was it, The Mummy with Tom Cruise?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Terrible. Don't get me wrong,
Horrible
but
movie.
I just mean I remember them. I mean, they were talking about doing
it all really failed.
Creature from the Black Lagoon
after that, after the Mummy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Invisible Man really didn't even It wasn't. It was just own thing.
It was the Blumhouse production, right?
Right.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but it is part of like they
That
own,
same-
it is part of the Monsters universe, but it was like a completely different thing. It wasn't even so
Yeah, but it was like I didn't ever see it, but I remember the trailers for it. I remember actually hearing people talk
was
about it.
great.
It was great.
It
Yeah,
was. It was awesome.
Like a great take, like
was.
a modern take
It
on
was.
it.
It was awesome.
On the classic. And so that's to be honest with you, like Hamada did have quite a few hits. Joker, It, whatnot.
I just watched it again today with
first
my
one,
daughter.
yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, well, and especially with his horror movies that he's worked on, kind of has revolutionized it, or re-revolutionized it, and which is necessary,
Right.
Always. That being said, he was not my favorite exec over when DC was still having it. Whether it was his fault or he was dealt a bad
Sure,
hand.
but he also made great decisions. Like, for instance, who he made horror movies with was James Wan,
Yes,
right?
and
he
then brought
brings
him
James
Aquaman
Wan
over.
in to direct the Aquaman, and we're
Right.
all at the time like, what?
Right.
I mean, we know he's good at what he does,
Sure.
but this doesn't make sense. And that ended up being $1 billion movie. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yes,
he-
absolutely. No, don't get me wrong. He's got. I think he's got great talent. He's got great ability. Clearly for a good vision for like directors and whatnot. We don't know behind the scenes how much of the bad decisions that were made before Discovery bought Warner Brothers, how much of that was he
Sure.
involved in and whatnot. But I'm willing to put all that behind me because he's going back to his horror roots, like you said, and that's really exciting, man. I mean, he really has like a lot of. I was just looking through his credits here, and man, he does have a lot. He's got Lights Out. He's got the Conjuring ones. He had the Nightmare on Elm Street. He was part of the original like Final Destination. So he's
there
really
you go.
he's really good at like modernizing and making, because it's so easy to cliche horror. You know what I
Right.
mean? We've
Yeah,
seen
for
it.
sure.
We see it still with like Halloween Kills and
Sure.
stuff like that. But he's got a great track record of solid horror movies. And all that being said, he's also got experience running a cinematic universe. And I'm not gonna lie, like I remember hearing about the monster universe, and I know The Mummy was terrible, but the people they had involved in it with like Javier Bardem, I think was supposed to play Frankenstein's monster and stuff. Like I can't remember any of them now,
Right.
but I was honestly kind of really excited about it. I was thinking that would be really cool, like modern adaptations of all those classic horror novels and stories.
Right.
I think we're ripe for them. And if they're bringing in Hamada for this reason to revolutionize or do a modernized take on classic tales and following his track record, I think it could be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
if
I'm
that's
super. I'm super excited for him. Glad it happened, guys. Let us know down in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this new deal that Walter Hamada signed? Did you like him at DC? You hate him? You wish he never got nothing? You glad he's back to his horror roots? Definitely let us know down in the comment section below.